So during season, it is inevitable you're going to play on bad fields. You're going to have bad umpires. You're going to have umpires who call one way for you and differently for the other pitcher, and you're going to deal with a whole slew of other things you don't have control over. So we're going to do a video and talk about how to deal with that.
Drop it. That's it. Thanks for watching. Bye. You just have to drop it. You have to understand.
It's out of your control. It's just out of your control.
For as long as you are going to be pitching, you are going to continue to face bad umpires. You're going to continue to play on bad fields. You're going to have softballs that you don't like or weather that you don't like to play in. It's just there's never going to be a highly favorable place that you're like, yep, this is perfect. So anything that's out of your control, you just drop it. You can't focus on it, because if you do, again, it goes into the next pitch and the next pitch. Now you're not even thinking about what you're supposed to be, pitching aggressively and sticking to your routine. You're still focused on what Bob called a strike or what Bob called a ball 5 pitches ago.
Or the push off doesn't feel right because it's too deep.
Yeah, like
too big of a hole, or the landing area isn't flat.
And I will say, when you are feeling your best, you're throwing freely, you're letting it go, trusting your routine, you don't notice those things. You don't notice how bad the dirt is, or if the umpire calls a ball, then you it's like, okay, whatever, that felt great. Like, you're not focusing, you don't notice all these little things. But when you are out of your routine and you are pitching defensively, like we talked about in the last video, you are very much aware of all of these little things that just build up and end up pissing you off. So moral of the story is, if you have no control over it, you shouldn't be worrying about it. That's it.
End of story. If you have an umpire who's not calling pitches that you think are good pitches, just ask where they're missing and adjust, and hopefully you find where the umpire wants to call it, and then you can work with it. But that's, like, I can show you where the strike zone is in the rule book, but that doesn't mean that's what the umpire is going to call that day. So there's no point in arguing, well, that's a strike. That was on the plate. I'm like, it's not today. Or it wasn't that pitch. And you adjust and you move on, because that's all you can do.
And honestly, having bad umpires or different strike zones every game, that's part of the game. Figuring out the zone and asking the umpire where it missed. You don't want to do every single ball that you throw, but just to figure out where the zone is. Or sometimes, like, the umpires also know, like, that needed to be called a strike. They know, some of them, hopefully, right?
And also, on that note, umpires don't wake up in the morning and be like, you know what? I'm going to call a really bad game. They don't think that. They wake up and they want to call a good game. They're human also. So, like, keep that in mind. They're not trying to just be bad, but just like you have a bad game every now and then, they're going to have bad games too.
It happens. And again, you're going to continue to have not great umpires, bad fields, bad playing conditions. You want to play in the World Series one day? Guess what? You want to know how hot it is in June in Oklahoma City and how much you freaking sweat? It is not favorable whatsoever. So it's actually the worst.
No, it's not. Oh, and then, like, with the field thing, right? Both teams are playing on the same field. Both pitchers are dealing with the same mound. So whoever adjusts to it first is probably going to have the better game. And if you don't like it, then if it's soft where you're landing, dig it out. If it's uneven where you're landing, dig it out. Like, you can make small adjustments. Like, do that if it's going to help you throw a little bit better. But at the same time, if you can't do anything about it, right? If there's the 40-foot rubber that's 3 feet in front of where you're pushing off and you're dragging over it, there's nothing you can do about it. Figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Got to be adaptable. Nothing's ever going to go your way all the time. So, or ever, really. And that goes, again, for life in general. Like, learning how to be adaptable is very important, because, again, nothing in life is ever going to be perfect and go the way you want it to go. So,
or easy.
Yeah. Work with what you got. Find a way. You'll be all right.
Get the job done.
Just drop it. That's it. That's all. Bye.